Good afternoon. My name is Carlen Capenos, and I'm the director of the Office of Small Business Programs for DISA. And I have been given 20 minutes to talk to you today, and so this is what we're going to talk about. If we have time at the end, I'll answer any questions that you have. Okay. So the first thing that you need to know about me is that I'm from Pittsburgh. The second thing that you need to know about me is that my favorite color is purple. And it has been since I was 6 years old. So the third thing that you need to know about me is that you should never, ever confuse my affinity for the color purple for who I root for. So yes, I had a good day yesterday. So you see, there's a lot of people that know me that would think, and they would tell you that I bleed black and gold. But the truth is I don't. I bleed red, white, and blue. And it's a privilege and an honor for me to serve my country and our warfighters by being a part of a team that delivers the products and services that keep us safe. You see, I have a dog in the fight. I spent 20 years going where the Air Force sent my husband. I've been fortunate enough to be hired into the civil service and to build a very transferable career for myself. I've worked for the Air Force for a decade. I've worked for the Army for a decade, and the last 3 years here at DISA. I've been involved in the majority of my 22-year career in contracting, and I've been involved in the writing and the execution of almost $12 billion worth of contracts. I've also had the opportunity to do this job, the small business job, for the Army Corps of Engineers, Baltimore District. So I've met with a lot of companies over the years that want to serve with us as well. But back to the dog in the fight. You see, I've worked alongside airmen and soldiers at the installation level. I've wished them well when they've deployed, and I've celebrated when they've come home. And I've mourned with them at Arlington National Cemetery alongside their friends and families. So this matters to me. All right. It matters to me that the products and the services that our boots on the ground warfighters need, that they have it when they need it, that they get the highest quality that's available, and they get it at fair and reasonable prices. This is my priority, and this is what's important to me first and foremost in this job. So that leads to my philosophy. We need companies, both small and large, that can deliver. We need great companies that can deliver. Because it doesn't matter if you're a small business, and it doesn't matter if you're women-owned or service-disabled, veteran-owned small business, or HUBZone, or 8A, or any of those things if you can't deliver. It does not serve anyone well to meet a small business goal if you can't deliver. It doesn't matter if you can't deliver. So if you're good, or better yet, if you're great at what you do, tell us that first. In the other room today, I met with a lot of folks coming up to me, and one gentleman came up to me and he said, "Hey, my name is so-and-so, and here's what we're good at." That's what we want to hear in our office and at DISA, first and foremost. What are you good at? We've shown here at DISA that we can meet our small business goals, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So what that means for us now is that we have the ability to make the acquisition strategies that raise the bar. And this can be for every federally designated categories, as well as subcontracting opportunities. Okay. So this shows that for the last 12 years, DISA has made its subcontracting or small business goals. Those of you who've been here before, you know this, so we're not going to spend that much time on it because it doesn't matter what we did in the past. Okay, so what did we do last year? We set 6 new records. I really want you to focus on the bottom line, the HUBZone goal. Last year, DISA made a concerted effort to meet the HUBZone goal and to cross the $100 million mark for the first time, and we did that. With the efforts and hard work of all of our stakeholders, including industry, we finally did it. And this is where you clap, because this was a big deal. All right. And with the HUBZone contracts that we've awarded, the pipeline should be solid to meet and exceed those goals down the road. Our FY19 goals are the same as the 18 goals, so we're not going to spend that much time. All right. So I've been in this job for 3 months now, and I've spent the time reviewing what my office has been doing. I have gone through every filing cabinet, every storage space, every nook and cranny in the Office of Small Business to see what we've done. So now it's time to look forward. We set up a short survey, and we're asking you, industry, both small and large businesses, to take a few minutes to respond to it. We want to know what we're doing that is value added to you and your companies, and those things that we should keep doing, the things that we're doing that aren't value added to you and that we don't need to keep doing. But most importantly, what are we not doing that we need to do that would be value added to your businesses working for or trying to do business with DISA? I promise you it's really short. Once we collect this information, we're going to go through it and use it as a guide on where we go forward in our office. So who is the Office of Small Business? Right now we're a team of 3. Myself, Ariel Douglas, our Associate Director, and Brenda Lent, our Small Business Professional. I have what we are. We enable DISA to gain the efficiencies, innovation, and creativity offered by small businesses. Our office is an integral player and value-added advisor in the development of acquisition strategies to ensure compliance with laws, directives, goals, objectives related to small business. Okay, so what does that really mean? We are your advocates for the small businesses that want to do and that do business with DISA. We are your point of entry into DISA. We are here to assist you, and that can take many forms. We're also here to be the advisors to DISA's leaders in the topics related to small business. We work daily with our acquisition folks and our requirement owners in all matters related to small business. We're located both at Fort Meade and out at Scott Air Force Base. We do this every day. And why? Well, because it's the law and we're supposed to, but most importantly, because it's good for our country. All right. Some of the things that we do for you, we'll meet with you, small and large businesses. We need to remember that large businesses do have a big part in making sure that opportunities are available to the small businesses through subcontracting opportunities. Our office spends time training small and large businesses and our internal stakeholders. We help facilitate, provide information, and assist. We review acquisition packages. We assist in determining strategies. And I say assist. It's the contracting officers that still make that decision. We participate in events that promote small businesses. Part of our survey asks you what events we need to participate in and what events we need to put on for you. We review every subcontracting plan that comes through DISA and every acquisition plan, and we liaison with the SBA. Okay, so one of the questions we get asked all the time is, how do we decide what the acquisition strategy is? Should we set it aside or should we not? If we do set it aside, how do we determine which category to set it aside for? So a lot of this is driven by the FAR and the rules and regulations that come into that. So this big eye chart that you have is this whole if-then scenario. If this, then you should do this. If yes or no, follow it all down. Basically, in a nutshell, what this says is that every acquisition that we do in DISA, we look first and foremost, can small business do it? And do they want to do it? And if they can, then we look further to say what categories can do it. And if there are multiple contractors in any category, we look further. Do they have the capability? Do they have the requirements? Can they do it? And it is ultimately the contracting officer that says, okay, we're going to set aside, and we're going to set aside for this category. And the good news for them and for us is since we met all of our goals last year, we don't have to overemphasize one over the other. We simply need to watch throughout the year that we're tracking them and targeting to meet all of them by the end of the year. But priority and first is small business. And how we look at that, first we have to look at market research and whether they're capable firms that can do the work and if they want to do it. Then we look at how many of each category and will we ensure that we get competition, that we will get viable proposals in, and then the contracting officers and their specialists do a form called a D2579. It comes through our office and we concur on it. If it is going unrestricted, there has to be the demonstration that small business can't do it. And a lot of times we work together through all of this to come to the same conclusion that we support, that our office will support the decision that the contracting folks have. But again, how we get the information is through market research. So when we put out sources sought notices, it really is looking to see if small business can do it and if we have a smaller federally designated category that can do it. And that small businesses have the priority over full and open competition. All right. So I put together this small little checklist of doing business with DISA. There probably isn't anything up here that's new or a surprise to any of you, so I'm not going to read it to you. I do want to emphasize two of the points on here, and they are the last two. In my career, I've met with a whole lot of small contractors who want to work with DoD, and often they tell me of all the things that they've done. We've reviewed your forecast, we've attended your industry days, we've gone to the outreach events. We've talked to every PM that we can talk to, and we've responded to sources sought notices, and yet we still don't have a contract. And so I'll say to them, well, okay. What was the last solicitation that you proposed for, and what did the contracting officer tell you was the reason why you didn't win? And oftentimes I get the, well, you know, we really haven't gotten that far yet. You know, we're thinking about it, we're looking at it. You know, we think we're gonna do it. To which I'll tell them, you know what, if you don't propose, I can guarantee you you're not gonna win. So that is the key. I tell people this all the time, and 8 out of 10 people look at me like, what are you talking about? Of course you have to do that. But it's surprised how many companies don't actually get to that point of proposing and putting in those things. The only way you're going to find out if you're in the ballpark to win is if you propose, which leads me to the last one. If you propose and you don't win, you have to ask why. You have to ask for your debrief. Because if you didn't win on price, that's the easiest thing to say, there's no way I could have made that price, and this, we just can't compete here, or holy crap, we should have sharpened our pencil when we could have won. But the rest of it, the technical pieces of it, those are the things you need to figure out, whether you are competitive in our arena or whether you're not. So you can adequately make your business decisions on whether you keep pursuing what we're doing or whether you have to find a different avenue to come in. All right. So how to get a hold of us. This is our contact information. If you stop out at our table in the back, we have business cards that have this really, really long email address on it. You can also Google me and find my email address. We also have the link to the survey there in a business card as well if you want to pick it up. And that's all I got for you today.
We have some questions for you.
Okay.
Why was DISA's HUBZone goal reduced to 1.5% when the DoD goal is 3%?
So the DoD actually assigns us our goals. They negotiate those with the federal government. So I don't know why it was reduced, which didn't matter to us anyway. Those of you who've been around long enough know about 18 months ago, we made it a priority to bring those numbers up and to do everything we could to get more HUBZone set aside. So we're going to keep charging forward to increase the goal to that 3%, even if we're only assigned the 1.5%.
Does DISA utilize a tiered approach for acquisitions under FAR 215.203-70 to increase socioeconomic participation.
I'm not sure I understand the question. So what I'm gonna do is have you guys send that to me, and we will get a written answer when we publish all the questions and answers, so I can look up the FAR section.
Thank you, Ms. Capenos.
Okay, thanks.